So for dinner tonight, we're going to be having pork tenderloin with this delicious apple, I want to say gravy or sauce over it. And it's one of my recipes that I've made for a long time. And the first thing I'm going to do is take this beautiful pork tenderloin, get it out of the package, get it roasting in the oven about 375. I'm going to season it up with salt and pepper, add just a little bit of water to the pan, and get it right in the oven. So here it is. It has the salt, pepper, dried thyme leaves, and garlic powder with a little bit of water. I'm going to roast these up, cook them fully. Then over the top, I'm going to put this beautiful, delicious apple mixture over the top of the pork tenderloin, and then serve it up with some vegetables and maybe some potatoes. Okay, so the pork tenderloin is done. I'm just going to let it rest. I'm going to cover it up. It needs to be at least 145 degrees. It's about, for me right now, it's about 155. So it's not really pink. It's going to be completely white and cooked all the way through. I like my pork a little bit more done. So now we're going to get on with the sides and the sauce. Okay, over here I just got about 2 tablespoons of butter melting in a skillet. I have some onion thinly sliced up, about a half an onion, and about 1.5 apples thinly sliced up. I didn't use my mandolin. I just used my knife, and I didn't make them very thick at all. I saved half for Cooper. I have some cinnamon, some nutmeg that I'm going to use across my microplane, and some apple cider vinegar. So the first thing we're going to do is get our onions and our apples in, and we're going to saute these until they're nice and soft. This makes a wonderful topping for pork. Apples and pork is like a classic, and this is delicious. So get your apples and your onions in there, give it a stir, and then sprinkle it with some cinnamon and then some nutmeg. We'll start letting these soften up in the butter. Okay, so I added some cinnamon, and I took a nutmeg and across my microplane and added that. I'm going to stir it up. Cook them on medium-low because you don't want anything to burn. You just want them to soften and let those apples let some of the juice out. And there's no, set amount. Just sprinkle in some cinnamon and grate in some nutmeg. This is the taste of fall. And then we'll just let those cook down, and then right when we're ready to finish them off, we'll finish them off with a little apple cider vinegar. Cook that down, and it will make a delicious sauce. Look at those beautiful apples. You can see they got lots of color. We're going to add a splash of the apple cider vinegar. Let it cook down for a minute, and it will be ready to serve. Okay, so dinner is done. I take the apples and put like a bed down and add the pork and a few more apples on top. The boys opted for mac and cheese tonight. I'm serving it up with some green beans. Jackson's not really fond of the apples a whole lot, so his is a little more plain, but that's completely fine. And this is going to be an amazing dinner. Now with the leftover pork that we have, we will make barbecue out of it. Pork barbecue for a different night. And now Scott's already got his plate. We all got to go join him. Time to eat. For dinner tonight, I am making some potato soup. I've shown you guys this recipe many times. Right now, I am just going to get my potatoes diced up in the pot and boiling. I got to make some bacon to go on top, and just going to be an easy night. And potato soup is always delicious. I got my bacon cooked and crumbled up, some cheese out, and some scallions that I cut up that we will be serving with our potato soup tonight. Yum! The soup is almost done. It's going to be delicious, and it's getting kind of cool here, so it's perfect for tonight. So here's dinner. Look at that delicious looking soup. Just basically loaded potato soup, and I'm serving it up with some King's Hawaiian rolls. I was going to make a salad. The boys said no, this would be more than enough tonight, and I'm good with that. It's time to eat. So today I'm going to show you my grandma's recipe for Salisbury steak in the crock pot. Now this is super easy. You do have to brown them on the stove first, but that's something that really makes crock pot food better. So many of us have just thrown stuff in here. We didn't take any time to brown it, and it's kind of bland. But when you brown it first, it really does give it a better taste, and it cooks a little bit faster. Okay, so these have cooked for 4 hours now. Look how delicious they look. And again, you could use mushroom soup, which would be a little more classic, but I'm going to get it plated up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so it's done. I'm just serving it up with some peas and some mashed potatoes underneath the Salisbury steak. This is more than enough for us on this very cool weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you have any questions or comments below. You can find the recipe info on my blog at kjaggers.com, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye. So tonight for dinner, we're having barbecue pork sandwiches, and this is like a two-part dinner because I made a pork tenderloin, and then, you know, it came with 2 of them, and I just, you know, ate one at one meal, and then I saved the other pork tenderloin, shredded it up, added some barbecue sauce that I bought, and I'm having it with baked fries. So it's a little more healthy. They're not, you know, in oil, and this is a very quick dinner. I'll show you what it looks like served up in just a minute. So here it is. You can see the pork barbecue, and it's delicious with the baked fries, which are healthier, and I'm serving it up with some orange wedges. And that's a tip. If you want your kids to eat more fruit and vegetables, put it on their plate. Even orange wedges with dinner, I think always kind of lightens it up towards the end, and I personally love them. So this is our dinner tonight, and it's time to eat. It's another weeknight here, and I needed a quick dinner tonight, so I'm making good old-fashioned spaghetti and some garlic bread. Spaghetti's cooking, and I'm also over here making this cute Halloween cake. I'm going to make it in a bucket. So that is what we're having tonight. I'm going to get this in the oven in just a minute. And that is our dinner tonight. Jackson's really been enjoying the orange slices, so I put some more out. And that's what all of our plates are going to look like. Perfect for a weeknight meal. So it's Monday night, and I wanted to go ahead and bake this Halloween Funketti cake mix. And I used the butt pan. It came out fine. I iced it and used the sprinkles that came with it. And I don't think the camera is too far off the color. It is so light. I think that, I don't know, I think that they should have put more orange food coloring in it. If I would have thought about it, I would have added some myself. But hopefully it's delicious. Let's cut into it and find out what it looks like on the inside. So here it is. You can see the Funketti, I guess that's how you say it, inside the cake. And my family will devour this in no time. So the cake lid is going on. There we go. And this is Jackson's piece. I'm sure he's going to love it. Just a vanilla cake and vanilla icing, but they really should have made that more orange than pink. It's true to color right now on film, and I just hate how, I don't know, how light it is. Should have been more orange. So tonight for dinner, my husband went to the store on his own, picked up this cube steak. He really wanted chicken fried steak, so that's what we're having. And I got out broccoli. We're going to have steamed broccoli with it. Some eggs to make an egg wash to dip the cube steak in. Some all-purpose flour to dip the cube steak in. And some red potatoes that I am going to wash. Not peel, just chop up, put it in a pot, let it come to a boil. We'll have smashed red potatoes with the chicken fried steak. So I'm going to get busy and get dinner done because the boys are very hungry. The first thing I do is put the potatoes on because they're really going to take the longest. So put them on and let them, you know, come to a boil and soften up on their own. Especially if you're going to mash them by hand, you want them a little bit extra soft. So get them on first. So I added the eggs, and I didn't even measure out the milk. I would say a good half cup to a cup of milk. There's no science. Just mix out some eggs and milk. It's going to be your egg wash. And then, I didn't use a whisk at all, I just used the fork. Then over here with the flour doesn't come seasoned. So I like to add some garlic powder to it. No big measurements, just sprinkle some in. I got quite a bit of flour. I like some thyme leaves personally. If you don't like thyme, leave that out. Some pepper and some salt. I'm just using some kosher. Give it a good mix. I'm just going to use my hands. Make sure everything's mixed up. And there's your seasoned flour. And now it's time to start getting the meat ready. I like to just get the packages open and have a plastic cutting tray handy. So into the egg wash, into the flour. Your hands will get messy, or at least one of your hands will get messy. Get it coated really well. A cube steak has all those little cracks in it, so try to get it in there well. And then put it on your plastic cookie sheet or plate, whatever you have. Plastic cookie sheet, plastic cutting board. And repeat until they're all done. Okay, so I got them coated. Now, I like to leave them sit for a minute. Get rid of these. And then I do it one more time. I give them a double coating. And you need to let it sit for about 2 minutes and do it one more time. So just grab the second round of cube steaks and put them right in. Give them another quick dusting. And you are ready to get them in the oil on the stove. This is a big piece. I'm sure it's going to be my husband's. It's kind of messy dealing with the flour, but you can wash up pretty easy. Now I'm going to have to fry these in batches. And then I have my oven on warm. And as they get done, I will just slide them in a casserole in the oven until they're all done at the same time. Until they're all finished. One more, and then I'm going to get washed up and get these cooking. So I have some canola oil heating up, and I'm just going to add a couple pieces of the cube steak at a time. You can't really crowd the pan. And you want it down on medium. You can see it's on medium here. Might be a little too hot. I might have to turn it down a little bit. You want to get some beautiful color and then flip it and put it into a casserole, which is right here, and put it into a warm oven until you get the rest of them done. I just flipped them over, and that's the color you want to get. My husband loves this meal. So the first two are going in the oven. I have the others in the skillet. So for the mashed potatoes, I drained them, added some butter, milk, added some Parmesan cheese, and used my potato masher because it's a weeknight and I don't want to break out any other kind of mixer. I highly recommend everybody getting one of these. To the leftover oil, add about 2 tablespoons of flour. Mix it all in really well. This is what's going to create your roux, which is going to thicken your gravy for the country fried steak. Mix it up. It's kind of hard to do with my left hand. I just switch. There we go. Cook it for just a minute or two to get out the flour taste. And if you didn't still have some oil left over, add a little bit. It looks dark just because all the drippings are in, but that's just going to make it a really good gravy. Alright, and then we're going to add milk. Now, there's no precise way I do this. I just add a bunch and make sure to whisk it in really well. Okay, and get the milk. I'm guessing about 3 cups. Always use a whisk for your gravy. Even though I'm in a non-stick pan, I'm just being very careful. But you need a whisk. You're going to keep your gravy from being lumpy. You're going to mix it and turn it up to medium because you want it to come to a boil. In the meantime, we're going to add some salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. Gravy to a boil, that's the thickest point it will be, and then pour it all over those delicious country fried steaks that are in the oven. There we go. So here's a tip on how to steam broccoli in the microwave. Just take your broccoli, cut it up in little florets, add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water, put a lid on it, make sure it's a microwave safe bowl, and give it about 4 minutes in the microwave. After the 4 minutes, take the lid off, be careful of all the steam, and then grab a fork and make sure it's tender. If it's not, put it back in for about another minute. But this one's pretty tender. So now that dinner's done all the way, I'm making it plated up and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So here's dinner. You can see I have the smashed reds, the chicken fried steak, and the gravy, and the steamed broccoli I made in the microwave. It's super, you can see me do it with my nail, soft and delicious. You could certainly do any other vegetable the same way. Make sure you're using a microwave safe bowl and a microwave safe lid. But it's super delicious for a fall dinner. It's filling, comforting, and I have more vegetables than anything on my plate. I love vegetables, and you can certainly serve it with whatever vegetable you like. So that's our dinner tonight. So tonight I'm using the tandoori baked naan for dinner. Now it's a bread, and let me show you real quick. This is what it looks like. I just dampened it with a little bit of water. It's in my oven warming up. I'm going to make bruschetta on it. Maybe chicken bruschetta. I haven't decided. But that is going to be our quick dinner tonight. Okay, so the chicken is done. These don't really have to be warmed up first, but mine have been in the refrigerator. I should say that. If you're just bringing them home from the grocery store, you really don't need to warm them up at all. I've got some Delano sun-dried bruschetta, I'm sorry. So in the skillet, I have some chicken that I cut up. I have it cooking in a little bit of olive oil with salt, pepper, and some Italian seasoning because it is going to be like an Italian kind of bread. So I have that cooking up, and once it's done, I'll set it aside until I assemble everything else. So the chicken is done. It looks really good, and it tastes good with that Italian seasoning. I should say with these, I put mine in the oven just for a minute because they had been in my refrigerator for a while. If you're bringing them straight home from the grocery store, no need to do that right away. I got some sun-dried bruschetta right here in this jar pre-made. I also diced up some tomatoes, like an orange tomato and a red. I have a little bit of olive oil, lots of salt, some Italian seasoning. I mixed it all up really by hand on the cutting board, which will go on here. We're going to start with a little bit of the sun-dried tomato bruschetta first. Okay, there we go. Not too much. Now I'm just going to crumble the chicken over the top. I love these naans. They are like grown-up pizzas to me. Don't have any of the chicken too big. If it is, just break it up. This is a very good, quick weeknight meal. This is another meal you can entertain with on like a Sunday. If you made a bunch of these, or you made it interactive with your friends, and you could get more traditional toppings for it than what I'm doing. But this is the way we're using them up tonight, and it's going to be delicious. Okay, so now I'm going to add a bunch of the tomatoes right to each one. Looks like I made just enough. And guess what we're going to top it with next? We're going to top it with cheese. But we're not done. When we're done when the cheese is melted, we're going to drizzle over some olive oil and more Italian seasoning. It's going to be off the chain delicious. Okay. Just kind of spreading them out just a little bit. I'm going to get some cheese on them now. There we go. Looks amazing, doesn't it? Already. Now I'm putting these in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. Remember, if you don't like a crispy bottom, put them on the top rack. So they're done, and I like to just drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the top, not a lot, just a little. And add even more Italian seasonings. That, my friends, is an adult's dinner tonight. So here they are, and these are really sturdy. You can pick them up, and the larger one is for my husband, of course. This is a great, quick weeknight meal. This will probably be more food than what he can eat, but super delicious. This bread is amazing. I got a homemade recipe for it. I'll show you sometime in the coming weeks. Thank you so much for watching this What's Cooking video. I hope you've enjoyed some of the recipes. If there's any questions you have about something maybe I didn't explain in detail, just leave that below. I'll get back to you. I promise. We're going to enjoy dinner, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye-bye. Super excited. My plated box just came in the mail with all my unique ingredients and recipe cards for some delicious meals. Stay tuned for an upcoming video review and giveaway on my blog in the coming weeks. I'm so excited.